Hi there, it's Vero or at Vero from the Archer and Olive Ambassador team, coming to you today with the easiest habit tracker to create in your bullet journal. As I explained in my blog post, one of the great ways of staying on top of your habits is to track them in your bullet journal. So today we are just going to make a very simple habit tracker that you can make in less than 5 minutes in your bullet journal to stay on track of your habits this spring. I'm going to start off by writing habits on the top of my page with one of the Archer and Olive calligraph pens. I think there's nothing better than having a title on your page to know exactly what you're going to be doing on it. The next step is to grab a ruler. We're going to be doing a vertical habit tracker today. I've explained what this is in my blog post, so you can go check it out over there. I've also listed a bunch of other different habit trackers that you could use instead of a classic vertical one, but for the purpose of this video, let's stick with a vertical tracker. To start off with, I'm going to draw a line down and I'm going to make sure that the line is long enough to account for the 31 days that are in the month. This is a habit tracker that I'm doing for the month of January for 2023, so it might not be accurate for the month that you're currently in, so just make sure you account for the number of days. Once I've done that, I'm going to draw a horizontal line that intersects with the vertical line just on the top, and the horizontal line is going to be roughly 12 to 15 squares across. The reason I'm doing this is because I'm going to be tracking around, 10 to 12 habits in the month of January, and because I haven't figured out what exactly I'm going to be tracking, I'm giving myself the space to be able to write them down later on, because at the time that I was filming this, it was still November, so I was not ready to think about the habits I was tracking in January. Next up, I'm going to grab a different colored pen and I'm going to start drawing horizontal lines again. I'm going to draw them after every single Sunday in the month, so the first one is actually going to be after the first day because the first day of January is a Sunday. I'm going to count 7 squares down, I'm going to draw the next one, 7 down, etc. The reason I draw dividing lines is because I like to be able to visualize where in the week I am. This is because I often struggle to stay on top of my habits, and I figure that by having this additional line, it'll help me find where to tick off my habit even faster because, anything to minimize stress or confusion during the days. Once I have done that, I'm going to write the days of the month on the left side. I could also include the weekday initials as well, just to, add another layer of security, I guess you could say, but I'm just going to do numbers instead on this one. For this one, I'm going to use one of the calligraph pens again, and I'm going to hold it so that the fine tip is the tip that I'm writing with. This creates a very nice fine liner effect that I really enjoy using, which means that the calligraph pens can really double up as brush pens as well as fine liners. Very versatile pen, if you ask me. And if you're interested in buying any of the supplies that I'm using, you can click on the links in my blog post because I link everything over there. Once I have finished writing out all of the days, I'm going to now move on to creating a key for the habits that I'm tracking. Because this is a vertical habit tracker, I don't really have much space to write out a full word saying what the habit actually is. So instead of doing that, I'm going to put the first letter for the habit, and then I'm going to put on the right-hand side what the letter means. To do this, I'm just going to go in with the calligraph pen again. I'm just going to write the initials down, and now you will notice that I'm using some similar letters over again, but because of the order in which I'm writing them, I'm not going to get confused. I also like to leave a space between specific habits because some of them are grouped together and others are not. This just makes it a little bit easier for me to position where I am in my habit tracker. So for example, one of the habits that I track is my water intake in the day. Specifically, if I drink a whole bottle of water in the morning, then I also have yoga, handstand practice, flossing, not eating meat, and washing my hair. Now, I don't track when I wash my hair to tell myself that I need to wash my hair. It's more like I like to keep track of when I wash my hair just to see how often I actually wash my hair. That's just one of the things that I like to point out. I also have a tracker for reading, painting, and the number of dives I've done in that day. I am currently training to become a dive master, so I also like to see how many dives I do in a day. Then I'm just going to report the letters that I've chosen for each of my habits on the top, and that is pretty much the habit tracker and what it looks like. Here's a bird's eye look at what the habit tracker looks like, and you can catch the rest of this setup in my January plan with me on my channel at Vero.